Hey, welcome to the Grow Show. I'm schwooby. Glad everyone can be here with us today. Um, Me and Cuz were trying to do something different. The show we're going to do a record episode and then broadcast it live and hang out in the chat because Cuz is camping with his family again. I was up late last night working on it, and my cat walked across the keyboard and deleted all my work at the end of the night. So I'm doing it live. It is what it is, and we will make the best of it. So if this episode seems a little bit rambly, yeah, I imagine it would fit suit with the rest of them, but it might be a little less organized than normal. So yeah, let's just start off with the day. What's going on in the garden? Just finished doing my reset. Finally got around to not being so lazy. Cleaned it all out with my peroxide mix. Took apart my fans, took apart my outtakes. Everything got wiped down. Everything is all nice, new, and shiny. Set up the autopod system. Didn't have the four-way splitter. Looks a little cross for it. It came with two T's for the add-on pieces I got for it. The original set comes with a 4-cross system, and it's a lot easier to plummet. I shouldn't say easier, it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And that being said, I had to do a little workaround and make it look semi-nice. Other than that, it seems to be going okay. All my cuttings except my dark hollow were successful. That one's the roots, it did root, but it doesn't look the healthiest. So I just kind of said, no, I'm not going to waste an autopot on that. So I threw another golden goat in it. So now I have, if I'm not mistaken, 3 with air domes, 3 without. 2 of the ones are, one with the air dome has a golden goat, and one without the air dome has a golden goat, as well as I believe I'm trying to work up the top of my head here. I could be mistaken, but it's going to be the Dragon Punch and the Scarlet Begonias that doesn't have it, and the Blue Raspberry Truffle and Space Force that has the air dome. Could be wrong. We're going to find out here. I'll definitely do an update. I was hoping Amazon would have my little bit upgrades for the show in today, but they don't. It'll be in tomorrow. So next week, hopefully, I'll be doing the show from the garden. We'll see how that works. Cheers, Chris, Dave, Neighborhood Grows, everyone. Glad to have you out here. And if we're curious about what cat did the damage, it's this one right here. This is Opie. Small but fierce. That's the way she is. We're going to throw the link up for the show in the description, or not description, in the chat. And if you want to join, by all means, let's just figure if I can do this again. Live view, shield, copy link, paste, boom. Password. Feel free to hop in if you'd like. Oh, speak of the devil. What was for Audio Connect? Sorry if I made him wait there. Yeah, it's definitely scatterbrain on my side of the side today, just because I'm dealing with not being prepared computer-wise for the live show, and as well, trying to get my desktop all set back up. Last night, everything kind of went to crap for an update. Cheers for our plants. Raptor Grows, welcome.
Cheers.
How's your day going, buddy?
Pretty good. Just gave the papayas, strawberries, and dragon fruits a watering. Went outside. Wanted to go out a little earlier, but then you know how the hood works. You're there for an hour, no one's there, and then like you got to leave in the last 10 minutes. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. It's like, oh well, say hi to you. I guess I'll pack another bowl before I head out, and then I got to get going. But I was happy to just get out there, do some work. Every day I want to try to do that. If not watering, just weeding. I have a bunch of weeding to do. But yeah, other than that, been considering putting an auto outside. You know, Michael Rasta sent me a couple of seeds of some autos he's working. So that should be interesting. It's called flight mode. I'll have to look up what the crosses are, but I'm just interested to see it. I've never grown outdoors and I've never grown an auto. So considering that I'm not really going to have to close up till like basically uh, New Year's, on all my growing, like I could just
Yeah.
leave it out there and do its thing. The rains don't start until December, January, and
Okay.
then they continue up until like April, May.
Yep.
So that's our rainy season over here in the Southwest. Around that time, that's when we get everything wet. That was when everything's cooler. Everything grows around. That's my favorite time of year because everything is bearable. And also, too, wet means mushrooms. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's for
yeah,
sure.
I'm actually looking. I wasn't able to renew it this year just because of all the shutdowns and everything happening. I was like, well, I could have done it, and because I wasn't really restricted, I did everything I needed to move around, and I would only move around on my own, just wouldn't go in a big group, so it wouldn't be a
Yep.
big deal. But I did have during 2019, 2020, no, it was 2022. I had my mushroom growing permit, not sorry, my mushroom pickers permit, like, uh, and I actually, it's free for the public, but you can pay $20 and you get your commercial permit.
Okay.
And that means, while someone might maybe able to get like a basket, I can bring buckets with me, show it to the rangers and show them my permit. Like, yep, go on ahead.
Yep.
And before that was one of my strategies that I was considering for just getting some money. I'm a student. I can only make so much and still go to school and try to manage everything. So I
Yep.
was like, okay, cool. I'll do that. I'll be able to get samples for my own library, my own genetic library. I'll be able to almost take like a mini vacation because it would just be me out in the woods. And I've been doing that since I was a teenager, just going out into the woods and hanging out, like not even doing anything like a derelict or anything, just like, oh, I just enjoy nature.
Yep.
And it for such a long time, I always wanted to be involved in horticulture. Like, oh, that's cool. Whenever I would drive by whatever class, English, math, during the even when I was in junior high, I would look at the greenhouse and the horticulture side because every school had one. And I was like, fuck, that looks so much fun.
Yep.
And for so many years, I didn't have the credits, the prerequisites to do it. It was math, science, all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, I did not have the math credits. So I built that up, didn't have the science, built that up. By the time I was finally able to have everything intended, the person that was in charge of the head of the horticulture department, he changed the whole scene. Oh, he changed the whole scene and he actually made it into he called it sustainable horticulture certification.
Oh,
So with
interesting.
that, he also made the change of no prerequisites. No one needs to know the square root of whatever the fuck to plant a plant. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
So that guy was actually my teacher for like 5 classes at least. We got to know each other a lot, and unfortunately, because of everything happening in the world, I took a break from school. I was like, well, I'm living with an elderly person,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to risk it. I was like, well, it is what it is.
Yep.
I'll make do with my time, and Lord behold, I'm on YouTube, X amount of days. So
Cheers,
yeah,
everyone.
I just here's everyone.
Same to you.
Happy 10th. Hope you're all blazing. For me, nothing dabbing, not really dabbing anything, but just got some, not strawberry starbursts, and scarlet begonias, but just scarlet begonias this time.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Last time I mentioned that I wanted to do just trying it without mixing it.
Yep.
I like it. It's funky. Like it's just like its namesake, scarlet begonias. Think it's like what Jeff was saying, dirty hippie girl. So
Yep.
kind of
Yep.
like BO-ish, but like
3 day no wash.
gassy. Yeah, yeah. Think fish festival, you know, and then no bathrooms. So it is what it is. You're lucky if you get a stream.
Cheers, Gonja. Welcome to the party.
Still
Cheers.
sitting up,
Sorry.
buddy. What up,
Just
Ganja?
yeah. Cheers, guys. Sorry, I thought I had it all saved, and I had to. Thanks for putting that link in there.
I even don't
Awesome.
have it saved, so put it that way.
Right.
Like I said,
I,
today's been a shit show. Fly the seat.
Right on.
there's those
Yeah.
days, man.
Oh, it's okay just to survive some days, right, guys?
Yeah, especially. I mean, both of you guys have essentially. I mean, small kids, and that is, a job in of itself. And then you work hard. So respect doing this, especially on a Tuesday. Mondays are tough too. Neighborhood grows is tough on
I,
Mondays, and then
I love
Tuesdays.
Mondays, but I never have time to make the neighborhood grow only for like 2 or 3 minutes. It's always during dinner time too. It's the worst possible time for me.
Yeah, we've been looking into that. Like we chose that time because it's our time. No one else is on there. No one else is talking. No one's doing their thing. I mean, and we even chose it to make it a little earlier because we're like, well, there are shows that are on Mondays, but we want our time. We don't want to mess around with any, but just basically having some community etiquette.
Yep.
And like, yeah, we could go on Wednesdays, Thursdays at late night, and dude, we would be dominating if we really wanted to, but we just kind of wanted to do our own thing and relax. So maybe in the future we might change it, but hey, it seems to work. The people that can watch can watch. It would be cooler if we did it a little earlier even. So maybe you could get in different day.
Yeah.
Pete even was saying like, really, you're making it at that time when I absolutely can't go.
Yeah,
So
I would
it's
love to get Pete on the show and talk some data, but it's just a terrible time for him.
exactly. I mean, it's cousins and mine's 420, so that I understand trying to make that, but yeah, I mean, once you get enough people, might look at a different time. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know what people are just getting in right now. They're just driving in, then they got to go home, shower, take care of the kids. If they don't have kids, they're taking care of other stuff. They just
Taking care of the
like
plants. Yeah.
take care of the plants. There's always babies. There's always
Well, like
babies with
Shipwreck
us.
says, my plants are my children. And it's essentially true, but they're also your boss.
Yeah.
Feed me now.
Oh, you don't want to feed me? Well, lose me forever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I lost the Dark Hollow. I did not.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. I still got seeds of it, but the cuttings of it, they did survive. They just didn't take well. So I'm not going
Hmm.
to waste an autopot. So I threw another golden goat because we know sheep will use
Yeah,
this.
something reliable. Just
Yeah.
make sure like it. That's the thing with fucking plant counts. They don't work with that. Like, no, you got what you got. Deal with it. And she's like, well, fuck. At least give me some leeway so that I can make sure that I have what I need because I don't want to break the law. I'm trying to. I'm over here trying to do the best I can with the really bad limits that you set.
Yeah. These
But yeah,
stipulations get kind of crazy sometimes, but I understand somewhat of the governance for it, but at the same time, I do look at it. It's just a plant. There's no other plant really that's monitored this way.
yeah,
So
even tobacco. I mean, tobacco is super deadly, and they're just like, go for it,
yeah,
go
yeah.
for it. You got the acreage, plant some acreage.
So I get about the whole black market and propels that in a sense, but let's be honest, that's only a small piece of that pie. So let us have our plant. Come on.
Yeah, I don't freaking get it. But luckily, especially with where you guys are at, you do have recreational, but
Yeah.
which is the whole grow floor. You still have medical. So I know, I think Shipwreck was telling me about the tier system. How it's like so many plants and some like,
Yep, it bumps
uh,
up.
yeah, yeah. And as it bumps up, you have to pay more, and it's a yearly thing too. Uh,
Cheers, Laurie.
that's interesting. I wish California did that. I'll have to look into it more as far as I've read into it. It's 12 plants for me with my medical. Right
Yep.
now I'm allowed. So 6 in veg, 6 in flower. So I'm just working with that. And then if I found a person that uh needed some help with some growing, just be like, okay, yeah, come on. Like just sign this piece of paper. I'll handle it for you. And then there's my other 12. And then
Yeah.
that's how it works on our side.
That's how it
So
started for me. So essentially I started taking care of myself in the sense of my medical needs, and then I took one
mm,
more patient on, and then another patient, and then eventually I applied for the ACMPR because originally I was just growing through my medical prescription. Then they changed laws. We're talking about 5 years ago before it was really even recreational was an option.
mhm.
So the way it generally works is I'll kind of touch base is everyone's legally allowed 4 plants in my province. I think it's Canada wide. It might be changed provincially, but I know it's always a base for. For my prescription, my dog's going off. For my prescription, I'm allowed 10 grams a day. That equates to 49 plants. My plant count. So I think the next step up is I think it's what is it, 15 grams a day, which goes to 100 plants or 99 plants. It's always just one
Mm.
step down from 50. But yeah, it gets pretty crazy. I think the top prescription for 499. I think, and at that point, it's you might as well just get your micro license. That's you're not going to go for an ACMPR for that.
Yeah, and then getting your micro license, I'm sure that allows you a lot of other things as well. You know, you can start selling
Yeah,
to dispensaries that are there. And man, from what I hear about the dispensaries up in Canada, uh, the only place to really like get something decent because it's a gray market seems to be the reservations. Like
I'll agree with that.
they don't have those same limits because they're another nation. They're a nation within a nation, just like how we have nations within our nation.
Exactly. But
2 minute warning.
oh, nice, nice. See, this is why I wish I was on my phone. Hopefully next week I can do this. Join in
Hmm.
for 420. I bought a little mobile screen and a green screen and a mobile mic, so it should be good to go.
Yeah, yeah. So Ganja, what are you puffing on right now? What are you smoking? Or getting ready?
He's
So
on the
it's
move. It looks like.
one minute.
I'm embarrassed, but honestly, I've been doing these little stupid ass vape cartridges just for convenience and
Hey
discretion.
man, if you're on the
You're
go, and I
decent,
know
man.
I always hear you outdoors, so
Yeah, yeah.
kind of make sure you're not like puffing that in a school zone and all that. So with the vape cart, you're just
I
and
found
then
some
move.
terpene ones. Yeah, there's definitely some
There's
people
good
doing
ones, hey, for
yeah.
sure. But it's just
So I
that you
found
have to look for it is the whole thing. Like really, I
yeah,
have to
so I
look for
found ways to
quality
look
when it
though.
should
So
be.
there is so like triple distillation is a real thing, and terpene additives are real things. So like you've got to ask the right questions now around here. So I don't know if it is where you guys because everything's different everywhere. It's so fucked up. There's
Hmm.
no real standard.
So you guys know the
Cheers.
sister company I work for, what they do. I've kind of divulged that to you guys. They make a hell of a product, and it wasn't until I firsthand saw it myself that I actually believed what you broke it down there. That turps are now separated into a whole new manner, and it's just like an added sauce. But to be honest, to me, when you separate certain things, you lose the entourage effect, and the buzz isn't the same. So it's a hit and miss. It really depends your mood, what you're for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think how you process it. So, like, I
Yep.
think some of the cheaper and shittier single distillation processes and less refined products are using added terpenes to hide the band aid taste or the fucking
100%.
nasty chemical. Yeah, right? So, you know, yeah. So,
It's no
you've got to.
different. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry, no, go ahead.
It's no different than back in the day when you had shitty bushweed. You made it in a hash to make it seem better.
Yep.
They're finding ways to their master product and reuse it. So
For sure. But if you do find that gold and you do find a triple distilled quality product, it's actually pretty good. you know. But I'm embarrassed to say because flower is my jam. It's just hard to find time to sit down
Yeah.
and do it properly.
Yeah, it's I would really like there to be a portable flower vape, just something that looks like a pen. You just load it up, you're good to go. Everything I've tried in the past, I haven't tried any of the recent stuff. So if there's something out there and go ahead and comment in chat. That'd be great. Let everyone, the community know. But everything works great for a little bit, and then something happens. Yeah, that's what's made me only consume in my house, in my home. So I'm
Okay.
here all the time anyway. So that's why I got this, desk model vape, because it was just like, well, I'm not gonna be here, so it's all good. And I'm really considering, just when I gotta go somewhere, just make edibles, because with the vape material, all I have to do, it's already decarbed.
Yeah.
I don't throw it away. I just put it in this cigarette butt, that you would have for your car, just like a little cup, and leave it there, let it fill up, put it in a bag, empty out, rinse and repeat kind of a deal. And you could very easily with that, put that on a cracker, some peanut butter, put that on top of all that, eat it. The consistency is odd, but it will get you to where you need to be. And
Yeah.
especially if you can't smoke or even vape like that, no one's going to be like, oh, look at him. What a shyster eating something. It's like, I'm just fucking eating. So
Exactly.
keep that in mind. That's the route I'm going to go. I'm starting school on the 23rd.
Oh, nice.
So I don't want to, I mean, I'm sure that I wouldn't be a big deal and I wouldn't be a buster about it, but I just don't feel comfortable personally. Everyone else can do whatever the fuck. I don't care. But for me, I would just rather like, oh, well, I just happen to make peanut butter cookies and it has it in there. I like what Dave's Not Here was saying when actually Lori has some ABV. She was able to get some. And she was like, how, like, you guys have this? How do you guys process it? And I was telling her, like, short and simple, exactly what I just said. And then Dave came in and he was like, oh, you know what? He likes the whole coconut oil, coconut fat,
Okay.
and then just let it sit in it, warm it up a little bit. That's the way he goes about it, but he does it with fresh material. So he was telling me, like, you might not even need to warm it up, but maybe warm it up a little bit just so it's a little more saturated within the material, and you'll extract a little more of that full spectrum, because you're keeping it, well, as full spectrum as you can get because you did vape it. But there's still a lot in there. I would say there's like 60-70% of the cannabinoids still in there.
Okay.
So I really like that route. I'm not wasting anything, and I could just drain it out and then throw it into the compost. No big deal. Keep everything within the same circle. Just keep cycling my nutrition and everything like that, and build soil, build organic material. And that's the route I'm going to go. I'll let everyone know how that works, but I've had that before, not extracted with the coconut oil like Dave was suggesting. And thank you, Dave, for that suggestion.
Yeah.
But just the whole, like, peanut butter on a sandwich and some like cut up bananas on that, eat it. And it wasn't that bad. I was like, you know what? I could actually get used to this, but I like the extract method. And then I could do from there, I could put it in a capsule and just have that with anything I want. Not a big deal. Don't have to waste any more time. And I could also just add that to like a pre-mixed brownie mix, just boop, and then make it. Or if I want to, if I don't want that taste even more, because that's why Dave suggested to do that extract to get rid of that ABV, chlorophyll. Any way you do it, you're going to have a little bit of that canna taste. So by cutting that out, you're getting as much as you can. It's available to you right away. And at the same time, it's not going to be super overpowering. That's what puts off a lot of people. And another thing is that we were thinking about is you could just make the brownies just fine, normal brownies, and then make like a cream cheese like frosting.
Yep.
And have that be the medicated part. So you get mostly non-medicated, and then you still get your medication, and
Yeah,
it's a little
exactly.
more concentrated, and it's cream cheese. If you want to do the cream cheese route, I just think it's delicious. Do that. If you can't really handle the cream cheese, there's other ways. Yeah, just integrate it into your brownie, or just make the capsules. So just short and simple. Boom, you already extracted anyway.
One thing I have noticed, like we make cookies every now and then, or I should say the wife does. She doesn't actually eat them, I do. But if before I got the extracting down and figuring out how to figure out my taste, we always use strawberry extract or cherry extract to hide the cannabis taste. It does a really good job. So if you're making like sugar cookies or whatever and adding can of butter and you know it's got a bad taste, add a little bit of strawberry extract or cherry extract and the taste is pretty much gone. And it's festive.
I like that idea.
Chat's cracking me up. Oh, shout out to Shippy for not only
84
cracking me up,
years.
but he's been like 4 months without, on hiatus from his Grow 4. So shout outs to Shippy. We feel for you. Thank God you got a res kind of close to you so you can get some good medicine at a decent price, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's moving on up. He actually was able to put out a couple plants for outdoor, and I think it was a gorilla breath. And then I'm not sure about the other one. So Ship, let us know in chat what you're popping, what's out there. And he says he goes out there every day, and it's just like with his coffee, just like a
Get
tab
up
there.
here and tell us, Shippy. Come on,
You had the invite, buddy. You're more than welcome.
click that link.
No pressure. No pressure.
I am looking forward to see what he gets out of that, because he used to grow outdoor, way back in the day, and he was just showing us pictures of all the girls, and just like,
He did it
man,
right.
gorgeous.
He did it right.
Yeah, he definitely has experience way back since he was pretty young, so it's cool to just talk to him and like hear his evolution and how he just started looking through different magazines, and then he found Subcool, and just how he relates to our side. He's just always been like, oh, I really like those genetics. He does so many things like based off of like seems more US cannabis style. But then you listen to how he got his information, which is from Skunk Magazine and all the other cannabis stuff. It's like, well, where were all those being published? US. So It's cool to see that we can share all the information and it still be applicable regardless of where you are.
Northern Lights number 13. And that Gorilla Breath. Oh, yeah, it is Gorilla Breath.
NL13. Nice. Fuck yeah.
I haven't had a decent Northern Lights since high school. It's got to be at least 16, 17 years.
It's been a while for me too. And I completely forgot that my friend did send me some genetics, some fungal genetics and some plant genetics like a year ago or so. And I was so focused on the fungal genetic side that I completely forgot that he sent me seeds. And the seeds are from his seed company. So I won't name the person, but yeah, I'll name the company like Aztec Gardens. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But everything that he sent me that he was working on had NL5.
Oh,
Northern Lights number 5. Yeah, so he even sent me one crossed with a Mac. And here I was saying this whole year, like, yeah, I don't have it. I would probably never grow or anything. I still don't have the original, but we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping to pop that maybe next round. There's a bunch of stuff I've been wanting to do. but I only had one tent. Now that I have two tents, a veg and a flower, and then I hope to expand even more, I have the space for it. I just don't have all the equipment. So it's like, why am I going to put up a third tent? I don't even have lights for it or any of that. So I just didn't want to make everything complicated for myself.
We have
But
the opposite problem. I have the equipment, no tent.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
AC
like
Infinity.
it's like the Reese's peanut butter cup. The one guy walking down the street with a chocolate, and the other guy's got a. Do you remember the original commercial for Reese's?
You got peanut butter in my
Yeah,
chocolate.
Yeah, my chocolate.
You got chocolate in my peanut butter. Officer Reese's, what's going on here?
Oh, hilarious! Oh, that's so funny. You two got to get together, baby.
Oh yeah. If only there wasn't a border. Man, I've seen the cuts that you make. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
Yeah,
I
you're
take
doing some
pride. I
gardening.
take pride.
Right?
It's amazing to have time with the family and job, but we make it. Although I will say I have cut back everything drastically for the next probably year, just because the new one.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it's
what
called
it
a
takes.
good wife. That's what it's called.
Running a little light or diapers.
Yep.
Diapers. But yeah, all in due time. I'll definitely get going back up full production when everything gets nice routine going. But the first year is always a hiccup.
I mean, as long as
Yeah.
you're able to do like what you need for yourself and for whoever else you're supporting,
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Fine. As far as upscaling, hey, there's nothing wrong with or downscaling from like moving up.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. You just need to be patient. Like I know you already are, and all good things in time.
Oh yeah,
Just have to
exactly.
make sure that you
Can you
keep with
bank?
it.
Yeah. Can you bank bud in Canada? Like Purple just pointed out to me, I was really surprised in New York, you can have up to 5 pounds locked in your house, which is a rare thing here. To have that as your base legals without any, like, that's just, you're completely fine if you have 5 pounds in a safe. That doesn't fly in most states here. Can you do that in Canada?
Yeah, it's again provincially they have different limits. So depending where you're at, and then
Yep.
if you have a medical license or not, like me personally, I'm
Right,
allowed,
right.
I
The
think-
additional, yeah.
yeah, I'm allowed a pretty stupid amount to have in my possession at once. Do I? Never, because there's no need for that with the kids around.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're definitely allowed to have a huge.
But if you were just on the 4 plants, how much could you have in weight in your house?
If I'm
in
not
it-
mistaken, off the top of my head, I want to say it's 3 pounds, just under 3 pounds.
Oh, it is big too. Yeah, okay.
And like traveling for you can walk around, you have an ounce on you, no problem. I can gift an ounce, no problem. You can gift cuttings, but the stipulation of this is the cuttings need to be from the government or from a
Right.
government fighter.
Mm.
If it's not, now I know people are going to say here, how can you prove it? Right now, you really can't too much, but there is going to be a time where genetic markers are a thing. So we're heading that way. They've already talked about it. Health Canada wants to put that into effect. And
Only a matter of time.
yeah.
Yeah, because they will protect their intellectual property, and
Oh yeah.
Canada
Oh
wants
yeah.
to protect the revenue stream, which means you don't really get any selection in genetics. Only
Nope.
what you can claim at the beginning, right? Because
Yep.
there is a grandfathering period, right?
You think, but from the get-go, they were saying they wanted only to be theirs. Otherwise, you shouldn't have had it in the first place. That's their logic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was from an
So
illegal
basically
source.
flush
Yeah.
genetics,
Yeah.
which would make Canada genetic free.
And here's the kicker. So if I buy from the rec
Yes.
department and I get a seed in my bud and I grow it out, I am now violating a patent essentially because that's
Oh
a
yeah,
nonsense
so they're
genetics.
playing the same game
Yep.
as Monsanto.
And because I didn't have the proper paperwork saying I paid for it, I get
Yep.
screwed.
Yeah, oh yeah. Same as Monsanto, same
Yep.
bullshit.
Yep.
They want to get you from seed to
Every way they
soil.
can. Yep.
Yeah, and then they own everything. Even if, people in the Midwest were getting sued because their crops were cross-pollinated by Monsanto products.
And that's going to be the big
They had
issue
nothing to
I
do
see.
with it. It's like, dude, it's not us, it's them,
Yeah.
but yet you're liable? Come on.
Yep.
How does that work?
It's like you're
I
stealing
mean,
information.
cannabis is a wind pollinator. It can literally, if you have a a hurricane, it could go 200 miles. But even just by a gentle breeze, it'll go 20.
Yeah, easily,
So
easily.
silly. I don't know. Big government sucks.
Yeah, yeah. And then they call the snap election here coming up. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows?
Yeah, here we kind of do the so that the government always gets their money, but here they went the route of just the taxes. So they figure they'll just make the taxes and then control the commissions and all the revenue for licensing and permitting and all that bullshit, which tax on a shitload.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, our prices are pretty ridiculous. $65 an eighth, kind of
See,
with
for
no
plans,
breaks.
I understand you can get cut that way, but with it's again, you don't have the Health Canada paperwork, I believe, from them. So it's again, if you get busted with that and they can prove that it's not their cut, you're still on the hook there. It might be different where you're at. I'm not sure where you're located, but I know in Ontario it's supposed to be if you buy your seeds, you get your little piece of paper, essentially it's a receipt saying you bought it from the government. You're allowed that. It's a license claim. So it's really really annoying that in that way. So as of right now, I'm enjoying it while I can, just essentially having no DNA markers, but I do see in the next 5 years it being a thing. Hell, it could be even a little bit sooner, I'd imagine. Because like you said, Chris, they always protect their investment.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Sorry, I was trying to get caught up in chat.
Oh, no worry. I have the worst time doing that too, man.
I can't do both. I lose track of where the hell we are. I'm like, too funny.
Yeah, it happens though. It happens. But yeah, I'm just still laughing at my fucking cat. Literally 2.5 hours work of editing. Gone.
Walking across your
Keyboard at night. It's where she sleeps. I should have known. Usually I put it up. And I didn't put it up last night. And she just,
Oh,
all I heard was that ding on the speaker. I was like, oh no.
man.
Yep. But me and Cuz are trying something new. We actually tried it.
You need to get her a heating pad. Maybe she'll lay on that.
Oh no, she waits for me to get in the bed, and then she lays on me. I'm not a big fan of the cat. I'll tolerate the cat, but waking up
That's
with a
why
cat's
she
tail.
does it.
Yeah.
Oh, ass end, mine too. Always puts an ass in your face or ass on you. She's always got to have her butt touching you.
Like my dad always says, for every cat that sticks his ass in a man's face, there's a dog that shoves his nose up a woman's butt.
Oh, that's
Uh,
true.
It's all in equations. Works out.
Oh,
balance.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that for plans. I'll have to check them out.
But you can't give
Oh,
them
that is
away.
cool. That would be
Ah.
right. Yeah, of course. They own the license.
Well, yeah. And then when you buy it, you get the license, but it's not like you can reissue the license for somebody else. So it does make sense.
So here's the thing, how it works in the US, as far as I understand, is I'll use apples because it's agriculture and it's something highly sought after. And it very much like cannabis, it's not true to the seed is not true to type.
Yep.
So you have all this variability, and you can only get the same thing over and over again if you employ propagation, like just cuttings in general, or combining that with making cuttings and putting those on grafts. So that's how they get away with it and are able to grow in multiple places, because those grafts themselves, the rootstock, it can handle the pest pressures, the disease pressures, climate and all that. But the important thing here is Pink Lady. We'll use that for example, or Cosmic. Ganja really likes Cosmic. So if you were to take that cosmic and
That
you were to try to
Cosmic Crisp.
resell it,
Yummy.
that's very illegal. But in so many years, that's going to go away. So while people are still able to have that plant, like have a cutting of that, they have to pay the company and say like, oh, I'm using this until your time runs out of forever for, I think it's 3 years. During that period of time, that's how long I will pay you this much. And then after that, it's basically a free for all. And then it's genetics that are out there in the market. So it would be, maybe that would be better than just like, no, we have this forever. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Maybe they don't have it forever. There's a time period on it. I don't know how it is on in another nation.
Bless you.
But I mean, I would think that would be the better route, is if like, okay, these companies are allowed to use it. They're not going to resell it. They'll sell the product, that fruit. They're allowed to do that.
Yep.
They don't, the people that made it don't have exclusive rights on that. It's a agricultural product, but the intellectual property that is the genetics itself is still
all-
being managed.
Yep.
That being said, there are people within the Apple community that will take that, make a cut, take a cutting of that, and then make it, just call it something like Cosmos instead of Cosmic, something like that, just close enough, or have another completely different name and have it be this big thing. And only the people that know what those flavors are, because they are aficionados, Apple aficionados, they will be like, oh, this tastes very much like this. Those people, if they're smart, will do the genetic testing. And that's the way it's going about now, just like you were talking about marker assisted breeding and all that. Like, it's a whole new game.
Yep.
So
Science
I'm
is
looking
our
forward
friend
to
and
see.
enemy at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to make money off of someone's intellectual property,
You're a douche.
yeah, you're a douche. And then we're going to find out through those
LoJack for your
methodologies.
plant.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can only find out about it after the fact of like, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to take a while for that information to get to you, if even that. So it would be interesting to see companies that are out there testing different people's apples. Like, oh, you're new? Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see how new.
Let's put you through all the DNA tests. Let's see what the genetic background is. Come on. Let's get a piece of that, leaf, or what it could be, anything, as long as it's live tissue. Well, it doesn't even have to be live tissue, but fresh.
Yep.
Fresh genetic.
As
material.
long as it's still kind of viable to eat, you'll have the DNA markers in it to know better or not.
Hmm.
Oh. In this time, my work has called me twice. I'm supposed to go back to work after the show, so it should be very interesting.
Well,
I haven't told anyone on the show here, but I'm a metal fabricator. That's what I do. I used to do structural, but now I do custom, which is a lot more fun, but a little more dirty.
Oh, you're getting called back in. That's good, because you get paid for a couple hours no matter what happens. Sometimes you even turn right around.
Yep. Go in for 20 minutes to get 4 hours minimum. So that's contract. But I will also need to make a stand for my auto pot reservoir, because hooking up 6 potters to it now, I don't have the gravity pressure. I'll be only 4 inches off the ground. I need to raise it at least 2 more. So I'm going to jack it up 1.5 feet and have all the goddamn pressure I need.
yeah. I love my gravity fed system. I use Blue Moths personally.
Oh, yeah.
They work great, but there's times when they're really putting out water. I like to adjust them to slightly more of what they tell you to do, just because I run a 65-gallon fabric pot, so that dries out pretty quick. So to adjust that, I have to use slightly more water, which it's nothing. The blue moths are so efficient. It's only watering when the plant wants the water.
Yeah.
And the plant will uptake the water as it needs to and then stop as it needs to. So I've just noticed such a huge difference in the way they veg out and even flower, the production that I have. My last run, I did mostly no blue moths.
Okay.
Just because I was in the mid. By the time I did my reset, I realized that my drip line, which was a soaker hose, I have a combination of a drip line and a soaker hose.
Yeah.
That actually got buried down. I also because I also have worms. So because I practice worm husbandry and like do all that in there, they take the food on top like they're supposed to. They go down and then everything starts getting buried. And because I wasn't on top of that in the beginning, I just had to let it all go through. There was a time where I did set it up and it was going inside, like just it looked like it was being injected the water and everything. So that was pretty cool. But the way I have it set up now, everything's on top like it should be.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this now going to be my exclusive flower tent is going to work. So I got my veg tent and my flower tent. I'm going to be running perpetual from now on. And then in a couple months, 3 months, Ganja, I'm going to need your help again. I'm going to put together a light. I'm going to buy another probably quantum board, double quantum board. We'll see what works and what I need. I like what's there, the blue spectrum. It's a little more blue, especially in veg. They really love it, and they seem to be pretty stout. So I like that too. But that being said, I'm looking forward to just really ramping things up, like always having something of a cutting from a seedling. And it's going to be really cool because before I would just plant my seeds. I wouldn't really deal with clones, just let them go. And even if it was awesome, chop, I didn't have any space.
Yeah.
Didn't have any space to take cuttings, even though I'm more than allowed, way more than I was using due to my medical allowances. But now that I do, and I made space and I'm going to have the equipment, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I have been talking with Invisible Sun. Shout out Richard from Invisible Sun and Grow Room 420, where they hanging out with them, and they're actually looking into some mushroom lights.
Oh.
So they're basically these Samsung boards, but they're strips of the boards. So the Samsung 301Hs is what they use for a lot of their lights. I think they use Bs as well. But I'll have to discuss with the person what they're gonna be using for that. And,
no difference. They're the same, just different.
Yeah, no difference. Exactly.
Horticultural, but they're same exact.
Yeah. I know that too.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know that there's maybe a different phosphorus layer, but it's the same
No,
equipment.
people say that. That's just because there's an error. There's an error in the spec sheet for one of them. So people have said that. So everybody always says that because they're repeating the same shit that they Googled before. But I've been to a lighting expo where Samsung was in Nevada and
asked them directly.
Straight from the mouth of Samsung is no, because even people didn't believe. Like a couple of years ago, people were when it first came out, they were haranguing Steve from HLG about the same stuff, and he said it, and then Green Jeans finally was like, he made a YouTube video, was like, listen, assholes, same fucking diode.
I watched that one.
Anything differently? Yeah. But even Samsung's will tell you. But yeah, there's because some of those board manufacturers are selling the H at a premium and duping people. There's so many people getting duped in the industry. It's ridiculous, like. And people think they have the science of it, like there's a lot of crazy people. Like lighting is easy. Like you don't need a Coco calculator to figure out what you need in your tent. Like I like Dr. Coco for all of he's got a great resource over there of stuff to, learn how to grow in cocoa or tips and trips for mainlining and stuff like that. But you don't need a lighting calculator. Like you just need a dimmer switch or the ability to raise and lower your light, and then just
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you have the right diode and the right driver, and you're gold. There's not
And
much to it. It's so simple.
if you buy good equipment from reputable companies, they're going to give you the good specs. They're going to tell you the
Yeah.
PPFD. They're going to tell you everything you need at a certain height. You're going to get this amount of PPFD in the middle and from the outskirts as well. So that's pay attention. Use your money wisely. But yeah, those invisible suns, Rich was telling me that they put them through. They technically don't have to because they're using the Samsung, so it's that they know, but they'll still put them through a sphere, an integrated sphere. Is that what
Doing a
it's called?
spherical test. So they usually,
Yeah, they're doing
so
spherical.
a good credible company will actually independently spherically test with a university lab.
A third
So
party.
that's like the high standard, and then third party is next standard. That's
Okay.
not the highest because now
No.
you're paying for a test from somebody. That's like all these states here, Oklahoma, fucking, they have this testing criteria that, basically you're paying them, so you kind of they have this incentive, this bias to
For
test
you to
things
come back.
high for people that are good customers or for large orders, or I'm sure the extra $100 gets you more terpenes. I'm telling you right now, I'm sure you can slide an extra 100 or so for more terpenes on your dip. There's no regulation at those places at all. So come on.
Oh, you
people.
don't have cherry flavor? Now you do.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. It's a couple
So,
zeros.
yeah.
Made that
So even
happen.
like HLG will say, well, we get a spherical lab by an independent, we get a spherical test by an independent lab. They do. It's a third party lab, and I use HLG, so I'm not trashing HLG because at least they're doing that. Most other people don't do shit. But they're still not, it's still, I mean, I believe his numbers. I'm not questioning it at all, but it's, it's still kind of like everybody wants to claim to have the highest PPFD. But luckily for him, there's no competition because his diode density is so high that nobody can even, I mean, for him, he's got the biggest driver on the planet, and he's only running in that at 0.25 efficiency or 0.25, so half of what potential, and he could easily or a quarter of potential,
Yep.
and he could easily go to half potential with very little degradation to the diodes. But he prefers to keep it at 0.25. Running that cool is actually not as efficient as running a little bit hotter, and it doesn't really degrade that much. So or become a sink, as they say. But so he's running them super cool. So I mean,
No
there is
heat buildup, or
there's-
less heat buildup than competitors, I should say. That
I've
would
taken
do
those
something
four
similar.
boards. Yeah, I've taken those four boards that the Diablo boards from HLG. I've taken those four boards and run 1,200 watts through them. They come out of you usually can run 650 out of them, 660, 670 maybe, 670 watts out of those, because that's what the driver they use. The best driver that you can get is basically 680. So I've doubled it basically. I've put two on there and had no ill effects. The only thing I had to do was I pasted them, and I did it for so they were going these
Thermal paste.
thermal paste, exactly. Thank you. So the place the guy was adamant that he wanted to mimic his double endeds, and he wanted to still be able to hold things high. And I'm like, against our advice that LEDs are different and don't need, basically the inverse
Extra wattage.
square law. Well, inverse square law is more pronounced, so they wanted to do it. So we just double, and it works great. But it's not. I mean, he's blowing a lot more energy than he has to. I mean, he's he could half his, not half, but he could probably save 30% on electric if he had wired it differently, or
That's a big chunk.
Yeah, would have designed it, basically because if you have double-ended thiories, now you have a footprint of electrical stuff in boxes and everything that meets code. So when you go to LEDs, because it's a different thing, you need something that sometimes the layout's going to be totally different. Sometimes they'll use like along the aisles, we'll use like Black Sail Markets cannons, like that style products, because you get this PPV splash effect. So where you have aisles and stuff, you have a different whole beast that just to kind of even out and strengthen the canopy at your corners,
Yep.
anywhere that so the outer walls, sometimes if you got PPFD drop off, you do cannons and that kind of stuff, but you lay it out differently. So really the best ideal way is to actually just rewire the room for the new fixtures. But some people just want to chip out, and that's what you want to do. You want to cheap out, so you want to do right at where the fixtures were now. So, we designed the room in that respect. But it's just silly. But you do what people ask you to do, and you laugh, right?
Yep.
You're paying for it. It's legal. This place isn't going to burn down. Good luck to you.
Mm.
Now my cat wants some attention. Hi.
I'm not gonna lie, the entire time until you sat down, I thought you were on a bike, so biking around.
Uh-huh.
This is from this weekend in Maine.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Wells Beach, Moody Beach in Maine, in Wells, Maine. Yeah, yeah. So I just like to always have the GoPro running, and I just kind of download it here for my background. Always kind of fun. I'm collecting it, and then I'm going to do my own YouTube. Once I get enough, I'm going to do a YouTube just basically of friendly interactions with people on my bicycle. So anytime
Nice.
anybody waved or said something, or I've had a lot of positive GoPro experiences, so I'm gonna clip them
That
all.
looks clean.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's fun. It's fun with the kids, and it's for my youngest, video project for school.
Oh, that's cool.
I just use
Yeah,
the camera.
yeah, sure.
They're
Use
both pretty
them
bad.
as the excuse for all the spending. Okay. Yeah.
That's how I got it so cheaply.
Next thing I'm gonna hear is like, oh yeah, Junior's next science project is growing the tomatoes. And he's gonna need all these lights, right? Just gotta take advantage of November deals, huh?
Electric surfboard once they got a good battery,
Oh
and they
shit.
can hold a
Yeah.
fat guy.
Perfect. Well, anyways, guys, we're wrapping up towards the end here. We got about a minute left to 8 o'clock, and I have to get my ass back to work.
Yeah.
So I like to
Thanks,
thank
Tyler.
Raptor and
Good
Goncher for
hangout.
hanging out. Everyone
Yeah.
in the chat. Raptor, where can we find you?
Thanks again. A lot, Tyler. Had a lot of fun. Always good talking with you and Ganja now too. That was cool. And Lily. Sorry, Lily. Almost forgot you. Yeah, you're waving at me. It's like, oh, you're so rude. Yeah, I'm Raptor Grow. You can find me at Raptor Grow on Instagram and on YouTube. I've just been doing my thing in chats for a little bit, so you could just see me hanging out there. You could also see me on Operation Grow along with Tyler, Pete, Lefty Farms, and yeah, a lot of people on the Neighborhood Grow show as well. So you can catch us there at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 Eastern, 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. Connecticut. And you could also find Neighborhood Grows, all of us hang out there, Ganja as well, Tyler when he has a chance. Yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 Eastern, 12 a.m. UK, and that is on Mondays. Please check out the most recent episode, basically 24 hours ago, 23 hours ago. We had a lot of fun. It was the Dave Stash 420 special. We hit 420, we hit above 420 subscribers. So a lot of fun there. Thank you all for
Congrats,
having me.
guys.
Yeah. Get them.
Ganja, where can we find you?
Cheers. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, neighborhood grows and operation grows. Find me lurking wherever Raptor's at. Any chat, usually, definitely. The neighborhood grows is in all the chat. I mean, I'm all over the place in chat. That's the big thing. But yeah, Operation Grows and Neighborhood Grows are the big hangouts for. But yeah, thank you.
Nice. Nice.
Cheers,
Yeah,
chat.
thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. You can find me at schwooby on Instagram on Mondays when I have time. The neighborhood grows, but you can always find me in the Discord for neighborhood grows. Saturdays, Operation Grow, 4 p.m. my time, and then on Tuesdays here. Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.